what we're really talking about is hate speech. When we talk about like, should hate speech be limited on social media and legally limited? Because right now the real counterforce to hate speech is more speech, and that's generally what the Supreme Court has said, is that the best antidote is not regulation. The best antidote to offensive speech is not regulation, it's counter speech. But when people are self-harming or being hurt or killed as a result of speech, and words can hurt. Now, not necessarily inherently, although there is defamation. Defamation can, those are words, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words, names will never hurt me, is not true. Often, sometimes. So there is defamation. But your point was more, the mere words are not causing the physical injuries or worse. Um, but they can lead people to believe things or to act on hateful words. And there's a danger there. There are definitely dangerous words being disseminated on social media.
Mhm.
And the question is what to do with that legally. Should we do anything or not? And it's a tough call. But so that's hate speech. Now you're talking about when people shout down, usually right wing visitors to a university. They're saying, well, that person is a purveyor of hate speech, and so we're gonna prevent that speech from being disseminated. Generally, I think that's wrong. Let them speak. Um, and really, it's up to the university to and to regulate. I mean, in some way, so to make it possible for visitors to speak. Um, but it's a tough call. I'm not saying students are wrong, you
Mhm.
know, uh, because sometimes they have a point. I don't think Kyle Duncan should have been shouted down at all. I mean, he would have been giving, a right wing point of view, and that should be
Right.
perfectly.
Straight from the Federalist Society playbook. I mean,
Yeah,
he's a fifth,
that
he's a
should
U.S. appeals court judge. Yeah.
totally protected speech, and should be allowed, even if people are offended. That's why we have this First Amendment. But there are visitors who engage in dehumanizing speech, and that's not only inherently, I think, hurtful, but it's also dangerous. And so it's a tough issue, but I think in general, err on the side of letting the speech fly and marketplace of ideas, and you can let counter, now I will say that the other point of view, which is quite, I don't have a strong view on this, is that by allowing dehumanizing speech to just, be expressed, you are putting people's lives in danger. And you said before, it ultimately can lead to genocide, but you don't even have to get to genocide. You can have individual people harmed or groups of people harmed. And so I don't have, I see both points of view, and it's something that, I often I need to write a paper to work it out.
Yeah.
But, because I do believe in free speech and the marketplace of ideas, but I also believe that people should not, that hate speech, especially with social media, can be quite dangerous. So if there's a way to kind of balance those, I'm all for it, but it's not easy.
It's hard. Yeah. I mean, it's a tough call for anybody to make. And sometimes it's just really is unclear.